Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Realm. I'm Travis Bruce, and today I have a special guest with us. He is a creator of Fright Reads book festivals happening on my birthday weekend, September 28th and 29th in Columbia, Maryland. I have with us Harry Carpenter. Harry, welcome to the Horror Realm.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. So tell us a little bit about Fright Reads.
Oh, man, where do you begin? We are on year 4, if that wasn't indicated by Fright Reads Book Festival 4.
Yes.
I love getting the question, is this its first year? Yes. We did a bold move, decided to call it number 4. So this is the pilot episode. We called it Season 6, Episode 9.
It's got to be artistic, yeah.
Yeah, you know. So we're actually in our 4th year. This would be technically our 5th event. We ran one that was a sleeper success at Marley Station Mall in Glen Burnie. And if you've ever ventured to that mall on purpose,
yes,
there's like 2.5 stores and a JCPenney. Fantastic bookstore.
Yes.
But beyond that, there's not much. So we took over an entire wing, and that became our 4th event. So always trying different stuff. So Fright Reads Book Festival started as an idea. I'm a horror author, and I said, man, there's not too many places in this vicinity. Like, if you want to go to a horror book festival, you're going to somewhere in Virginia. You're going middle of nowhere, PA. I'm thinking, Scares That Care is AuthorCon is probably the closest one, and that's 3 to 4 hours away.
Yeah,
from our area, where I know we're both centrally located around Baltimore, so it's 4+ hours, and God forbid you hit the DC traffic. So forget it. You might as well just get pull out the tent and camp out for the night and give up.
Exactly.
So part of the thinking was I want places to sell my books. So Fright Reads happened. It's funny, I actually saw a Facebook memory that told me, hey, I got this wild idea for a book festival that we can da-da-da-da-da. And that was dated in 2019. That was like now-ish 2019. And I said, man, I had that thought. I think I was laying some groundwork. And then 2020, the world ended. And where everything shut down, I started planning and plotting and scheming. And out of the pandemic came Fright Reads Book Festival in 21. So yeah, it just became it's what I want to attend. Now, if everybody else comes and has a good time, that's an added bonus. But as long as I'm having fun, it's a place that I can get together with all of these authors and artists and creatives, and as you've seen in more recent years, Hollywood types that come and go through here. It's been something that exponentially blew up since the first year, where we were in the basement of a community center with zero Wi-Fi. And when I say zero Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi was upstairs. And the poor lady at the front desk tells me, "Oh, if you want the Wi-Fi, you have to take it downstairs with you. Like, I'm going to just hold it in my hands and don't let it out. Don't let it out." And then go, "Here, put it in your device." I'm a cybersecurity major and computer science major. That's not how any of it works. But don't think I didn't try, because it's got to work, right? They wouldn't have told me for
right?
reason. So we had it there, and everybody that attended, we had I'm going to say 115 attendees. Tickets were free, because my logic was, the pandemic sucked. Why don't you come out here and have a good time? This is something to do.
That's pretty awesome.
And we didn't have much. I had 26 tables of vendors, one of them being me. So 25 really talented people were in that building. And we had Artway Alliance. We had we had a video game company that came out with like Xboxes, Nintendo Switches, and all of that, and they were doing I asked for horror games, but they had Super Smash, which was the better call. Still undefeated as Kirby, just putting that out there. I let every single kid that came through that door, I let them know their place.
Smash them. Smash them.
Like, you want the smoke? You want the smoke? This has been since N64. Do you want this? But it was an idea. I mean, we even had bless this man, Richard Chismar came out for our first year. New York Times bestseller, basically, maybe so bold as to say best friend of Stephen King, came out to our little rinky-dink basement event. And that event ended, we packed it in, and I was like, my God, we need to do it again. And then we came back for Fright Reads 2. We moved to where we are currently is Benfield Sports Center. The building is much bigger. I'm able to get, at this point, I think we're at 140 vendors, somewhere in that neighborhood. So we went from 25 to, I'm terrible at math. I do everything else but math, but I think it's like a 300% increase.
It is a 300% increase.
My God, you just, like, I'm looking at the floor plan and I'm like, there's too many names. But what's weird is I know every single vendor of mine. The name will come up and they'll be like, hey, I'm Ben. And I'm like, hey, Ben, yes, you have the snake skin, whatever, and like, I know these people. Plus I get a lot of return people. So what Fright Reads was an idea that I had randomly, probably just in passing. I was like, what would be a cool idea? It partially came out of spite as well. I was told I couldn't be at a book festival, a horror book festival to be more specific, because my books weren't the right vibe. And I just went, I'll teach you full bender mode. I'll have my own book festival with hookers and blackjack. And I think from there, so we had Linnea Quigley last year, so there's Chainsaw Hookers.
Oh, nice.
Now we have Jeff Strand this year, so he has a book about a guy with a gambling problem. So there's our blackjack, hookers and blackjack. Mission accomplished.
Yes.
I have ascended. That's it. I have peaked. But it went from this pipe dream random idea to what is now. We had a Clerks cast reunion last year. And everybody said, that's not horror. And I'm like, but they have all been in horror projects, so shut up. But what is their bigger name? Clerks, let's be honest. So we had them. We had Linnea Quigley. We had my best friend in the whole wide world, Stay Puft the Marshmallow Man, Billy Bryan. If you didn't notice, I got a proton pack. All of this, everything in front of me is strictly Ghostbusters. I have the Boogeyman tattoo on my arm with the Ghostbuster logo.
Love it.
It runs deep. So to meet Stay Puft, what I decided last year, if I'm bringing in special guests and celebrities, I'm 100% abusing my power. And I want to bring in people. They're not going to be big draws. You might just go, why has he got that guy? I want to meet him. I want to meet him. Like, why are you bringing that guy in? I want to meet him. I'm a huge fan of Sean Whalen. Dude, like, he was the first one that I sought out. I was like, I would like Sean Whalen for my event. And my wife looked at me and went, Sean Whalen? Who's that guy? And I was like, let's see. The guy in Twister. Like, you got to kind of walk it around and be like, what's the thing that's going to trigger?
Like, that's a random guess. Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I want Sean Whalen. How do I make this connection? And from there, the agent actually deals with Brandon Adams. So then, he's like, he was in Sandlot, right? And I was like, shut the hell up. There we go. There's a name I didn't know. I have a Wendy Peppercorn signed autograph in the other room. Oh. So you know how deep that one runs. And I was like, people under the what? I got a Sandlot guy. I got Sandlot and Mighty Ducks. Check those boxes. So
movies that I loved as a kid. Sandlot. I still love Mighty Ducks and Sandlot. Love those movies.
Right, and they're fantastic films. So this is kind of my guest process. I guarantee you, every other event coordinator that does the big horror cons and big comic cons and stuff, they probably sit there and like, who's the most economical and what's popular right now? And I just turn into this gushy fanboy, and I'm like, oh, I want to meet these people.
That's what I would do.
On my lists, I'm trying to get the artist for Courage the Cowardly Dog next year. He couldn't do it this year for personal. He had another obligation, and he's going to get me the voice actor if they can come together. Courage runs deep. He's on the arm as well.
Nice.
You know, Courage and got the lady in the puddle, which will probably be easier to say. So yeah, like these are just like fan moments where I'm just like, oh my god, I can do that. So that's kind of how the guest list, and it's sad because like I'm an author, I'm in the book world. I couldn't tell you a single author like, yeah, what's some hot horror authors right now? You would ask me that 6 years ago. I'd have been like Stephen King. Who's
Dean Koontz.
Who's the other guy? And I would have just been like probably Dean Koontz, Jonathan Mabry. That's it. That's it. There's just 3 people writing books in the world now. You know, that was my mentality all those years ago. I have 65, 66 authors of every variety. And I'm friends with a good 24 of them, like close friends. We text each other. We call each other and giggle about boys or whatever. You know, like we're on that level where we're just call each other or talk to each other about stuff that's going on, upcoming events, book advice. Like we're on that level. And then I'm talking to people like, you know, like I mentioned, Chismar. You know, I've done so many events alongside of Chismar now, and I just casually asked him, hey, do you want to come back and play at our event again? So long as the date works, he was in. My knowledge of horror authors has expanded, but the other half of it is me abusing my power on the Hollywood side to find these like deep cut, like I want Fright Reads to be big only for the fact that I want to get these bigger names that I want to meet. Like I want to be able to afford the Matthew Lillards. Love that guy to death. But like if I can afford these different rando people that are way above our pay grade at this point, that's where I want to be. Like Bright Reads is a party. Like this is just me having fun. I have everything that I try to do at the event. Like if I walk into my event, I don't run it. I never owned this shirt in my life. We've never met before. And I'm not a plant in the audience. I am a random passerby that happened upon it day of, or maybe I got tickets last minute. I've never seen this event before. Me as a person, I walk up. The first thing I see is an Ecto-1 greeting me outside. That's it. I can just get back in the car and go back home. I've done all I can. That's it. That's if that's the only thing I did, that's it. But then you get into the door. Like that's outside for free, whether you buy a ticket or not. You can just come up, snap a picture of the Ecto and jet. But you're going to miss out. I have cosplayer Becky Taka who builds this elaborate set every year, 2 years in a row, because I said it was such a hit. People were mad that they missed it, so I want you to do it again. She is a contortionist, and she was crawling out of a TV, a whole living room that she built. She had like an old like wooden box tube TV crawling out of the television as Samara.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, she scared a lot of people, and I dig it. Awesome. And now she's coming back. I'm told, and I quote, she's going to be on her clown shit.
Nice.
I'm assuming a circus, a clown, something that's going to not sit well with several people in my staff, for one, who are scared of clowns. But like you've got people like there are so many free photo ops. Yeah, you got to come in, but I don't know too many events that give you a bunch of free crap to do when you're inside. The Ghostbusters have a free photo op. Things Forsaken do a freebie. Geez, that's just like 2 of them right inside the door of the 4 or 5 that we'll have.
And I 100% agree with you. So I go to horror conventions. Part of my show, one of the things I do is I go to horror conventions all over the country. And the goal is for the horror room to go to every single one. And I'm telling you, I don't know what happened. I know what happened. Great. But like it's so fucking expensive to go to a horror convention now. Like they're asking for money for every single fucking thing, and it's a bummer because I don't feel like most horror fans are millionaires.
Yes, we are. Do you see all this crap behind me? No.
I'm not just this
is why I'm in that.
I'm in my basement right now.
Me too. But yeah, like, so that was also part of the planning of Fright Reads too, because like I said, year one was free with the logic of that pandemic sucked. Why don't you come out and have fun? Yeah. This is the best I got. Year two, and as it's been going on, we've been getting bigger and bigger and bringing more stuff in, and I still feel like it's a hell of a value. It's $20, dude. It's $20. I've had people like, it's $20 to come in there. You just went, I'm not name dropping to like target them, but like, isn't Field of Screams like $100 and some odd bucks to go run around in the bushes and have a guy chase you with a chainsaw?
If you go to, I'm not trying to name drop them because I'm cool with them, but Masamune is fucking $55 one day.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, Baltimore Comic Con, like, we'll just target everybody. We'll just get everybody upset.
Us and them all.
Like,
I love you guys.
You know, it's on average, like, and I know what it is because I'm in a community center looking sports center. I am at best 180 feet of chaos. They are convention centers, giant showroom floors. They have ascended to this level. It's like being upset about Awesome Con. But Awesome Con is the entire DC convention center. I want to rent a Segway just to get to my table next year. I got winded. I need one of those stools that you can just set up, take a break, just so I can get to my table.
I want last year I was walking around forever. It's huge.
Yeah, and you were just trying to walk down an aisle. That's it. It's just it's miles. And that's not to say anything disparaging about any of these conventions, but they aspire to be these ginormous, you know, San Diego Comic Con, Dragon Con-esque, just Goliaths. I still want to be the little guy. I am still going to be 90% indie authors. That's my focus. Yeah, I'll bring in a couple of New York Timesy types and award-winning types because you've heard of this guy. You know this author. You might not know J.A. Barrios. Probably never heard of that name in your life. But you'll walk by his table and see his partner's fantastic artwork based on the book and go, what's up with this? And then you read his book and then you're hooked. You're in. Or you'll see Dan Jones with this, like I said, I know all of my vendors and what they sell, but like you'll find Dan Jones, and this guy has it's basically like a steampunk kaiju book, and there's a giant Hydra fighting like a old timey Zeppelin. That's your vibe. Maybe that's your vibe, but you don't know who this guy is. He never comes across your news feed, or he's not in the papers, as they say. Nobody's in the papers anymore, are they?
No one's in the paper. No.
That used to be a thing, but like
social media is on social media.
That's not even the papers. My social media is nothing but ads now, and I'm like, I'm good. Listen, if I see another ad for the company that makes a song for your spouse, and then you see like the big guy with like the sunglasses on, and it's like, he was named Steve, and he had my babies, and he's just crying. He's like, it's about me, isn't it? And I'm like, oh my god.
There was one that they were running recently. It was coming on I think it was this hot chick, and she was installing. It was some company. It was a hot chick. She was installing, like, mounting TVs on. And like it was on constantly. But I went to the comments, and of course there was a bunch of horny dudes. Oh, she can install my TV anytime. Blah 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 blah. I was like, and I comment. I was like, I'm pretty sure if you hire this company, she's not coming.
So missed opportunity. Feel like I see you're working with 72 inches. How about 3? Hey,
exactly. I feel like you're going to get 300-pound Bob and install your TV.
yeah, that's hot right there.
But hey, like one of the things I do with my channel, so I promote indie creators, authors, filmmakers, all that good stuff, and I interview a lot of indie authors. Probably some that's going to be at Fright Reads.
Oh, and I'm sure you're going to put a shopping list together when you get in there.
Yes. Hey guys. Yep. But like but like it is hard. And I talked to him. I asked him like, what is the one thing that like what's the biggest struggle right now in indie horror writing? And they say it's marketing. When it comes to just trying to get your stuff out there. I mean, there's so many books out there, which is amazing. But like, how do you stand out? And they talk about book festivals, and he said it is so expensive. It's so expensive to get into a book festival and get your table out there.
Yeah,
it
really is.
Yeah,
because the thing is, like I said, I can speak from both sides of the house because I'm like the Hair Club for Men. I'm not only the president, I'm also a client.
Yes,
I do. I do events alongside these guys. A lot of times we're tabling and I'll look down the row and be like, hey, that guy. Mm-hmm. But these tables become upwards of $350, $400. So let's say hypothetically, I'm definitely doing an event in Pennsylvania. Yes. Hypothetically, that I'm definitely doing an event in PA. I'm driving because I'm not in Pennsylvania. So it's a 2-3 day festival is usually the standard. It's usually Saturday, Sunday, or Friday through Sunday. Mm-hmm. God forbid it's a Thursday through Sunday. I can't stand 4-day plus festivals.
That's too much.
At that point, I have expired. Somebody needs to collect my corpse from whatever booth I'm at. I'm done.
Too much.
I've died before Saturday has begun.
Even as a goer, I can do 2 days of a convention. I don't want to. I see what conventions like sell like 3-day passes. I'm like, who the hell's going all 3 days?
Well, it depends. Like, okay, so in the case of we've spoken about them before, but like a Monster Mania, 3-day pass is clutch because from an attendee standpoint, let's say, I mean, I know the Baltimore show, they have all the Scream people, right? They have Lillard and the gang again that they had up in Oaks. I've already checked that box, so I ain't waiting in anybody's lines this go around.
Yeah, I'm good too.
But let's say you're brand new to the event, so your whole Friday is spent waiting in Lillard and Nev Campbell's line. That's your Friday. Gone, done. Now we're on to Saturday. Now you gotta do the gamut. So then you're in line for Skeet. Now hopefully you got their VIP thing and you can jump the line at least once and shave yourself some time. But there's they usually get about 5-6 people for Scream. If they do Nightmare, there's about 5 or 6 people. So you're running this like half dozen guest gauntlet. You need that Sunday. Hopefully you've gotten all your autographs, your pictures, whatever. I'm not even talking about pro photo ops and all the extra stuff. But you need that Sunday to do some shopping, to go and look at the vendor alley, to be able to look at that stuff.
But I feel bad for vendors when it comes to horror conventions.
Yeah.
I used to go to like, for instance, Monster Mania before it became this big thing. I used to, Hunt Valley, and I used to be able to go on a Friday where no one else goes. No one used to go on a Friday. And I would literally be able to go in there and knock out all my autographs, my photos, boom, boom, boom. And the Saturday was my vendor day. Because the Saturday, it would be packed with people standing in those lines. And the vendor tables would be wide open for me to go and do my thing. But now, like, a lot of these horror conventions are so damn big, it doesn't matter what day you go, you're going to be standing in lines. But I feel bad for the vendors at some of these conventions because...
Watch them pass by me.
People are just watching, and people are just standing in line to get a picture with Kiefer Sutherland or someone. And, like, but the vendors are so important. Like, I don't think most people know how important the vendors are for any convention.
So for me, like I said, I can't speak for the big dogs, but for me, the vendors are my bread and butter. The vendors are the reason why I can operate. Now, ticket sales are great. I love getting ticket sales. That helps. But the bread and butter is really having the vendor spaces all secured. So if you go to a Monster Mania, you go to Baltimore Comic Con, Dragon Con, whatever con that you attend, even if it's something small like Annapolis Comic Con, they rely on every one of those tables getting filled because that helps pay for a lot of the overhead. So from an event running standpoint, you're looking at the building, any logistical stuff. God forbid you need tables, chairs, pipe, drape, marketing materials, not just marketing to tell the world, but the crap you print out and, you know, tell everybody where the bathrooms and stuff are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all these stupid signs and little things, you know, don't come in here unless you have this, or, you know, don't walk in here with that item. All of those signs cost money. You got to go to, I keep saying Kinko's like they're a thing anymore, but like you got to get a printing company or get like Kinko's or one of those guys to like crank these out. I think it's FedEx now. I think they fully absorbed them, but
get it bought back. Yep.
but like you have to, like, I do it all by hand. I'm so untrustworthy. I'm like, I don't trust none of y'all. I'm gonna do it myself. I used to work at a print shop for a year. I know what I'm doing. And that's my mentality. Like, I'm gonna get it done. So like all that stuff costs money. So if you want the event to be bigger and better, you need the vendors. So what happens if you come in there with, you know, you make clay figures of all the horror icons, and you're really proud of them, and you pay me a sum of money to set up. Not one person buys your clay figures because they're all standing in line for Jan. Everybody is beating down the door because on this cast you said Jan is your boy, and everybody said, man, Travis likes Jan. I got to go see Jan. So they bypass every vendor, and they're all in line for Jan. You don't sell any figures. Close a business on Sunday, which my event ends at 6. I guarantee you're packing it in 3:30.
Yep.
You're just like, I didn't make anything. That's if you even come back on Sunday. Because if your Saturday was so bad you sold not a dime, I will never see you again.
No.
And yeah, there's more vendors out there. There's always somebody making candles. There's somebody always making handmade bookmarks and keychains and whatever. You know, somebody out there's always making shit. That's the end of the game. But you can't have that mentality of, well, I'll just get somebody else to replace them. The well will run dry.
It will.
Take care of your people. And as long as the vendors, like, I do something that most places don't do. If you've been to FRIGHTREADS.com, I list every indie author, and I list every single vendor and their website and a short description of what they make. If I can if they either tell me, hopefully they tell me, or I have to guess, and I go, I don't know, it looks like jewelry. Handmade jewelry made from things that you make jewelry with. You know, I try to do that because I want these guys to succeed. I want, you know, the girl that drew my logo, this little fella here, this bird, Eduardo, who is new to this year. He's been the 2024 mascot. We haven't had a mascot, but everybody else has one. Farpoint's got some robot. You know, everybody's got something. So I was like, man, I need a character. So we ran with the Raven because I was like, well, Baltimore, Edgar Allan Poe, and his name's Eduardo for a reason. So we kind of went with that. I'm just trying all these different things to try to make it work. And like Red Tail Studios drew this up. And she's drawn a lot of my stuff. She's got the vendor pass artwork drawn up. She's done a lot of work for me. I mean, I got her a table. But I ask all the time, I'm like, would this still be of value to you? Do you feel like you'd make money? And I have a few vendors kind of, not to say in my back pocket, but I just want to make sure that this is this on par with like Otakon, KatsuCon, Annapolis Comic Con, you know, all these different cons that are around, Monster Mania, Baltimore. Like, do you feel like this is a value still? Are we still in the neighborhood, or am I an idiot? So, I definitely try to make this a party for everybody, and I don't want them to get to Sunday and just, they're thinking about, my God, I had to drive down here from wherever. I had to pay for a hotel. That was $300 for the weekend. I had to pay for gas. There were a bunch of tolls. I had to eat. You know, got to eat. You know, so you have all these different things, and then you're paying for the table.
Yep.
I try to take all of that into consideration. And when you're just watching every single attendee bypass your table, it gets frustrating. And I have seen vendors like kind of just not to say lose it, but they've gotten a little upset where they're just like, what's going on with you guys? Don't like my stuff? I'll I'm the opposite. I'll just troll people and just ask them stupid questions. Like last year at Monster Mania, people were bypassing me to go see the Screamcast. Screamcast was up in Oak, and I'm just like, "Hey, how you doing? You want to talk to me about?" Okay. Hey, you want to? All right, I'll go fuck myself. Great. And then he just got even sillier, and I was just like, "Hey, do you know the Muffin Man? Lives on Drury Lane." And I'll just come up with like random absurd stuff, and I've only had 2 people stop. And I said, "Who put the bop in the bop shabop?" And a guy stopped, and he went, "You saw the gears turning?" He's like, "Is that what I heard? Mm-hmm. Why am I hearing that? Did he just say?" And then he said, "Who put the sham and the shamalama ding dong?" And I was like, "That's all we want to know, man."
But Harry, that's one thing I do with my horror convention thing. I stop at, I don't say every table, but I stop at every vendor table, and I give them a free plug on my channel, And by the way, I ran into you at Scarefest in Westminster. By the way, shout out to Kelly Owens, 6th Day. Yes, but she was a vendor there, and I bought a copy of her book. I gave her a plug. That's something I do, because I support indie vendors and creators and all that good stuff. Because I know that shit. Listen, without them, I love horror conventions, but I know that if vendors stop supporting horror convention, there is no damn horror convention.
It collapses.
Kiefer Sutherland and fucking Matthew Lillard is not going to.
Freddie Krueger doesn't pay the bills.
No, he does. They don't pay the bills. That's just something to get people into the door.
And a lot of the things. So with the celebrity guests, you often are paying for them to be there.
Yes.
So it's not paying the bills. You're just hoping to God you break even. Mm-hmm. So if you pay $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 for celebrity X to show up, you're just like, please buy autographs. Please, for the love of all that is good, buy autographs. Because at that point, you've already got the vendor money. I'm not trying to disparage it, but like that's the concept. At that point, you've already got the vendor money, but now you have these big knockout celebrities that cost cumulatively. I couldn't imagine. That's a whole mortgage to me. I'm not about that life. So that's why I try to look for people that don't really make the rounds often around here. Like Billy Bryan hadn't been up here ever, really. Like I can't remember the last time Stay Puft the Marshmallow Man had graced Maryland or the region. I brought Stay Puft in. People were mad at me the last few months. They're like, "Are you not bringing him back? You had your shot. He's done. He said you missed him. You snooze, you lose." But he's got but he was such a good guest. The guy
I missed it last year.
You did, and
I missed it last year.
I put him. So of all of my guests, like Linnea Quigley, she showed up. She had a nice little banner, and it had all her movie work and all that. She had her glossies, the whole 9 yards. Nice little put together area. The Clerks guys put up a quick stop fake banner and everything. Poor Stay Puft, I guess they didn't mail him or it got lost. His banner. So the Charm City Ghostbusters, in all their infinite wisdom, bless those guys. I put him. He was next to them for obvious purposes. I know the Ghostbusters are going to go spend money at him, and it's really good location. It's Ghostbuster. They have a giant 18-foot Stay Puft Marshmallow Man that we put behind him.
Nice.
So he said, I don't have my banner. And I said, yeah, you do. It's right there. And he's like, well, but yeah, he was such a good sport. This guy broke out a harmonica and was just, you don't get that with a lot of these like super busy celebrities. And again, not knocking it. There's a reason why they're top tier. People are just in demand for their autographs, but you don't get that interaction with a Lillard or anything like that. Yeah. You don't get to see just Billy Bryan watching people pass by for a minute, and he's just playing on the harmonica like he's in Folsom Prison. I don't know anybody that plays the harmonica. No. Not since what? Alanis Morissette?
Exactly.
Blues Traveler? That's a 90s thing. I don't know anybody today that plays the harmonica on purpose.
Harry, let me tell you the guest that I'm excited for. And I had Jan Birch on my show a couple months ago. And
he's so nice.
He's amazing guy.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to meet him in person. But the People Under the Stairs cast is going to be there. That's fucking amazing.
What a movie, by the way. Before
I
we
love that
talk about
movie.
the people in it, what a
Underrated.
movie. I made my wife watch it. And the beginning, I know Jordan Peele is supposed to be redoing it.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You'll never get that lightning in a bottle weirdness, I don't think. No. Because you get this, the first quarter of the movie is this tale about poverty, black neighborhoods, racism. You're getting that like just dumped on you. It's because we're not going to really go back to it anymore, but you need to know why that's important for all of this other madness that's about to come. Then Act 2 is just this fever dream where there's people in gimp suits running around with shotguns. There's people in the walls. They're not even under the stairs. They're in the walls sometimes. I mean, it's just. Then the credits roll, and you're just like, "What the hell did I just watch?" And she looked at me and said, "What? Why?" And I was like, "I don't know, man, but it was good, right?"
It's so underrated, man. I remember watching it as a kid. It's so underrated. I mean, it's one of Wes Craven's best work, but people don't put that in his top 5.
Best work? I don't think so, because the pacing is still a little but I do think it's top 5 easily.
It's definitely top 5. It's definitely
top 5 for sure. I don't know if it's his best.
Oh no, it's not his best work. No. It's in his top 5.
But it's top 5.
Yes.
So of the works of his, I love what he did with New Nightmare. The Great concept one. Of it being that like fourth wall breaking, they're making a Freddy Krueger movie, and Freddy comes to life and starts killing the actors. The scene where he kills Robert Englund is probably the best scene. I'm like, oh my god, this is such a dumb movie, and it's my favorite.
Yes.
And People Under the Stairs grabs a hold of that absurdity, and you're just watching this piece about just entitled rich white people. And you're watching how they literally can just get away with anything. To include stashing people in their basement under the stairs, as the title dictates. And they just get away with it. I think it's a very, for Wes Craven, it's a hell of a political piece.
It really is.
Definitely speaking about the late 80s, early 90s culture, and how we view people. But then you get this super cool horror vibe of this messed up like thriller horror, and I love it. That's why as soon as I spoke to the agent once Sean made that connection, and he's like, do you want Jan and Brandon as well? I don't know these guys on first name basis. Listen, if you tell me a name, you're like, would you like Rob? I'm like, I have no idea who Rob is. Oh, Robert Downey Jr. Oh, see, I know he has. It's a 3-part name. Okay, his name is Robert Downey Jr. He's not Rob. He's not Robbie. He's Robert Downey Jr. Okay, you can't just come at me with, hey, Brandon. Yeah, I'll take Brandon. What's a Brandon?
I'll take all of them. Yeah.
But yeah, so we went down that rabbit hole, and ended up getting those 3 at the same time. Are you familiar with Donna Jean? Because everybody knows Donna Jean.
Donna Jean,
she's in the horror world. She has Donna Jean's Coffee House. She's the nicest person you've ever met. Loves everyone.
I don't.
Well, you're going to meet her at Fright Reads. She's actually helping hold down the fort at one of the celeb tables. Got to make sure you meet her. She's like a mini celebrity herself. Well, she messaged me and said, hey, my friend Bill Perry just had a convention, I don't know, Arizona, somewhere around that way, Nevada, somewhere out in the sand. Just pulled the plug, took the money, and ran. God, I hate that, because it makes my job 10 times harder, because everybody's like, ooh, you going to pull the plug and run? No. But he promoted and hyped up the event, did all these videos. I mean, he went to the nines for these guys.
I love Bill. And
he just kind of got stiffed. They just cut and run the week of. She messaged me, hey, they just pulled the plug, and I know you are a good guy and you run a good festival. Would you be interested in him as him and a guest? And I was like, funny, you should ask. Because she said he was in People Under the Stairs and Predator, and And I said, you said the big word, people under the stairs. I am actually in talks to get people right now. So I'll get another people and we'll make it a party. So one of the cool things I've been able to do is this is the first time the 4 of them have been under the same roof. Ooh. Now, Jan and Sean and the gang, the 3 of them, they travel and do events together, every other time. You don't have Bill, who was one of the masked stare people. Not a big role, but he's got a lot of screen time. He's pretty prominent.
On the show. He's done everything. Yes, he's been in a lot of things. And
that's just people under the stairs talk. He had a lot of screen time in there. Not even talking about his Predator 2. He was one of the first kills. Mm-hmm. He's the one that talks trash to the Predator and realizes really quick that was the wrong thing to do. He found out. He escalated to find out pretty quick. But yeah, so I locked that in. A couple days later, I get the question. It's an odd question, but I'm looking to get her in some more events. Do you want Melanie Paxson? And I'm like, I have no idea who that is. I don't know names.
Who's that?
But if you gave me a character, I'm 100% in. I know characters most of the time before I know. Like you can tell me Pee-wee, and I know who we're talking about. Mm-hmm. You tell me Paul Rubens, which at this point, who doesn't know that name? Yeah. But like, if you would have said Pee-wee, I'd have been like, yes.
He would have been amazing to meet.
So he was on my, like I said, when I ascend to greatness and we have this like $1 billion knockout event, he was on my to-do list. And that got cut short, unfortunately. Yeah. But that hurt. That's my childhood. I'm getting Large Marge tattooed on my arm as well. So
I would have loved to meet Paul Rubin, Pee-wee.
Paul Rubens was. So Paul Rubens Light, if you've ever gotten the chance to meet Steve Burns from Blue's Clues, the most genuine guy you'll ever meet. One of my favorite people, and I keep trying to get him, and him and his agent are like, I don't think we'll be a good fit. And I was like, shut up, I have mystery and detective books. You're kind of there, all right? It's a stretch, it's a workaround, but by God, we're going to get there. But I got told Melanie was the fairy godmother, and I'm like, I know what that is from Disney's Descendants. And I was like, oh, the thing I always scroll past to get to Bluey, because I'm not gonna lie, I love some Bluey, but
Bluey's fun.
Yes, but I watched. I actually went through all 4 of the Descendants. I didn't do the animated, all the extra crap. I just went through the core 4. Typical teeny bopper, sing along, High School Musical type, but it's fun. It's just basically all the kids of our beloved heroes and villains of Disney. So like Gaston's son and Maleficent's daughter and all of that. They all, do nefarious deeds. And, like Beast has a son. And all of these characters exist in this world. It's a cool concept. Songs aren't terrible. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. I think that's going to be for my younger demographic because, I mean, we're scratching the itch for the old farts with People Under the Stairs and Sandlot and Mighty Ducks. Let's admit it. We're all in our 40s or more. Mm-hmm. We're not the demographic for the fairy godmother, unless you like Ready to Rumble, because she was in that. But
the wrestling movie?
Yeah, the David Arquette movie.
Really?
She's in there. Yeah, she's in that, and she's in Saving Mr. Banks, which was the Disney movie where Tom Hanks played Walt Disney, and they were making Mary Poppins.
Okay.
So she's in there. She's done some pretty prominent stuff, but her biggest, more known role for like a younger demographic is Fairy Godmother. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. And then I have yet to announce. I got a COVID booster the other day, and I'm not gonna lie, I got put on my ass something fierce. I was like, I'll be fine. It's not gonna do anything. Laying there in the fetal position, crying. Why did I do this to myself? Oh man, I'm waiting for tomorrow. Hopefully, it's all over and I move on. But I had Sean Whalen actually reached out to me. We host a book club every month. And we were in the middle of book club, and I looked down at my phone, and it says, Sean Whalen, Roach. And I was like, Roach is calling me. I'll have to take this. And I'm like, okay, what's up? He's actually got his new movie. Have you been following Crust, the movie?
No.
Oh, put that on your radar. Matter of fact, if you can make it, Sunday night of Fright Reads in I think it's in Greenbelt. They're doing a one-off screening at a theater. I think it's Greenbelt Cinema or something like that. I put it on Fright Reads a couple of times, but it's a Q&A with the cast. Not that you didn't see them all weekend, but
yeah,
it's going to be Sean and Rebecca Kennedy. It's going to be the two of them who were the two respective co-stars of that. Plus, I think the film writer, director, somebody, a couple other hands in the pot that are going to be showing up to do a Q&A. Vicariously through that, because she's already going to be in town, hey, would you like Rebecca to do your event? And I was like, yeah. I mean, it'd be rude. And she was in like Season of the Witch with Nick Cage, among other things. So, cool. Like, it just kind of all falls into play, and you get just some oddball stuff, which then just devolves into, for my 4 months of chaos, we get to where we're at now, 2 weeks from now ish. We get this event that is just it's just so much. Like, a staple since year one has been our free arts and crafts table. And it's advertised as kids of all ages. I don't care. You're 65 years old. You want to go make a popsicle stick skeleton? Do you? I'm not going to stop you. Matter of fact, it bothered me the first year we did that because I got one of my friends is a teacher, and she's like, I'll do it. And I was like, oh man, what a thing to throw your hat in for. Would not be throwing my hat in the ring for that one. Not that I don't like kids, but I don't want to be corralling kids for the duration of the event. My thing.
No.
So we get her set up, and I got the classics. Like, I named the classics off, and people are like, ooh, I can do some damage with those things. Foam sheets, popsicle sticks, glue sticks, pipe cleaner, googly eyes, colored pencils, crayons. You can do some damage with those things. You can make some creative stuff. These kids had no idea what to do with it. They were like, they had the popsicle stick. They're like,
oh, that's sad.
It's like, bro, have you never been creative? This isn't in Fortnite. What do I do? So we shifted gears year 2 and up. We have coloring pages and ready-made things because, man, what happened? What happened? You can hand me a bucket of arts and crafts materials, and I'll be like, I got you. Give me 10 minutes, and I'll MacGyver something together.
Well, that's good to know, because I might have my 8-year-old nephew, so it's good to know that there's some stuff.
While you're talking to Jan,
I'm talking to Jan.
Hey, I'm gonna put you right
in
here.
The kids' corner. Yep.
You go over here and make something cool. I'm gonna be over here with my dude, and I'll get you when I'm done. Yep. And we have that next to. My God, he could run the gauntlet. You finish making some arts and crafts. Go across the aisle. Face painting.
Oh, face painting.
Free. What? I got you. Free. I take care of the face painting.
I might need some more additional press passes. Not just.
But yeah, so free face painting, and that's been a thing that I've done since year 2. And poor Jolene, man, she worked herself to death on year 2, so bad to the point that she dehydrated and fell out. And I'm like, well, let's not do that. So we've been jokingly, I'm going to have the water boy hang out and hydrate her every once in a while. But she's also learned that wearing her pretty Renaissance fair garb with all the tight cinches and all that stuff, probably not conducive to sitting upright and painting people for 5-6 straight hours.
But not only that, what I'm trying to think. There's not been a book festival or convention or horror thing that has not been warm. You know what I mean? It's
the second you put bodies in the building. I don't care if it's the dead of January.
Yes,
it could be January and -10 outside, and we'll have the heat off. and it will still be 1,000 degrees in that
It
building.
will always be hot, and I don't know why, but also horror fans, not all of us, but a lot of us don't like wearing deodorant. So
Convention attendees as a whole, they have an adversity to deodorant. Go to Baltimore Comic-Con. Just
go to Monster Mania. It be rocking, man. I mean, as soon as you step foot in there, it's like
one in Hunt Valley, because Hunt Valley was tight quarters, and you're in there like elbow to elbow with people, and you're like, which one is it? Me? No,
like
but it's somebody.
Out. He'd be one of not, but the one in Cherry Hill is worse. And listen,
but like I'm talking about hotel ones with the tight quarters. They just
but the one in Cherry Hill,
you can breathe.
The one in Cherry Hill, I heard last year. I would never go back to the Cherry Hill one. I heard people were passing out. It was so damn hot in there. And
well, like, I think that's on the hotel, but I think their HVAC took a crap like during the weekend. I think that's what I heard, and I mean that's as an event runner, that's the worst thing you can hear.
And it was the hottest weekend of the summer. And it was the hottest weekend of the summer. Yeah. Yes,
and this is your fault. It's not the Hilton or the Marriott or Benfield Sports Center. They don't care. That's why didn't you get out there with a wrench and fix that thing?
I brought some fans in your truck.
Some fans. My God, if fans could work, we have a Tractor Supply around the corner. If I knew that was a solution, I would be like, here's the business spending card. Get me enough fans that this place will take flight. We need to fix this.
But Harry, listen, I am excited to get over to Fright Race. Once again, it's my birthday weekend, so like I'm gonna be celebrating my birthday at Fright Race. Now, how can everyone find Fright Race and purchase tickets as well?
Well, Fright Reads is physically located in Millersville, Maryland, not Pennsylvania, not Millersville. Was it Idaho?
It's in Millersville.
Somebody said like Idaho or something. Like, is this Millersville, Idaho? And I'm like, or somewhere else. And I was like, bro, it's Maryland Horror Book Festival, so let's just whittle that down.
See, Harry, I thought it was Millersville because I work in Millersville, and I thought it was in Millersville, but I just saw something recently online it said Columbia, Maryland.
So ages ago, we were in Columbia. So anything that updated like the event sites that just kind of AI pull in from the world, if they don't update, they just take the information and walk away. That's what's going to happen. But we were in Columbia. That was a crap experience.
Really?
You know, we were paying the hotel. Everything was good, and then all of a sudden, hotel management just started to come out with these off the wall like weird requests and demands. Like we couldn't have people with tattoos in there, and I'm like, well, guess I'm out. Guess my staff is out. I'm like running through my head. I'm like, I might have like one or two people inside, but like most of us are out. You know, we had that. They didn't want anybody in the lobby at all. And I was like, okay, unless they have a hotel room. They charged me like $500 a night for a hotel room.
Holy shit.
So there were a lot of reasons why it was bad, but I'm stubborn and I'll keep going. It was a really nice hotel, nice enough that I was like, yeah, this is going to be the spot. And then they just eventually just pushed me out, and they sent me, well, I told them, I said, there seems like there's a lot of issues. They didn't know it was going to be a horror event. And I'm like, bro, it's literally Fright. Fright is in the name.
Yes, what else?
And your contract with me was horrorbookfestival.pdf. That was your name to me. So you knew what this was.
Uh-huh.
So they started coming up with all these different oddball excuses out of the air. And I sent an email off and I said, hey, listen, is there a good day that we can just get together and talk in person, clear the air, sort out what this thing is, and get rolling? Their follow-up email, which makes sense, was, we're sorry you feel this way. We'll go ahead and terminate the contract, effective immediately. We unfortunately cannot give you a refund, but we will waive the cancellation fee at this time. And I was like, cool, because those are the words that I asked for. I said, let's have a sit down, and you were just like, whoa, let's get out of here.
Yeah, because I thought it was in Millersville, and the reason why I thought it was in Millersville, because, like I said, I'm in Millersville all the time, and I see the signs. The signs are already out. Like people, there's a signs in like front of the animal hospital. I was like, that's interesting, and I was like, okay, Millersville. So I was on what's it called, Veterans Highway, and I saw the sign.
I ended up because it's right around the corner from there. So I figured if I get in the neighborhood, the place where I think a homeless person stole my sign.
Really?
I had a sign put out in front of Walmart in Glen Burnie because I'm like, man, the people that come and go out of Walmart, somebody's bound to see this. Somebody took a picture of it, and I was like, yeah, I just put that out this afternoon. Tell me why my wife went to Walmart that evening and the sign was gone. And there's a dude walking up and down the street like, homeless, please help. Also, you should go to that book festival. Like, can you just flip it around every once in a while?
Exactly, every once in a while. Jack your side, man.
I tried to have one at Spirit Halloween up there off of Veterans Highway and Crane, because that's right down the road. Dude, there's a Spirit Halloween 4 minutes from Fright Reads. This is, you don't get perfect placement like that. But yeah, if you go to it physically, we're up in Benfield Sports Center in Millersville, Maryland. Follow us on social media. The Facebook's probably the most up to date. Then the Instagram, and then there is an X page, Twitter X. It just exists. Occasionally, I'll get a notification. I'll go, oh, I gotta post something. But it's probably the Facebook is probably the most up to date. And for the complete big picture, FRIGHTReads.com. They can look at any of the authors, any of the vendors, all of the special guests, preview whatever links that they've given me so you can see their books or their artwork or whatever they create. Learn about the panels, something you need to get into for your birthday. I got an improv show, and they usually get crowd participation. They get an audience member. I think that's what your birthday present should be. Public embarrassment from the improv team.
I love that.
It's a good present. But all of that stuff's listed on FRIGHTReads.com. There is a ticket link. There's a show clicks link. I have a goofy little cheesy like clip art tickets icon, and it's also listed in the toolbar. It's on Facebook on the event page. You can't miss the ticket page. They started, I think it's $20 for Saturday, $15 for Sunday, and I think it's $35 for it's $30 for the weekend. So that's pre-door prices. So if you get in there before door,
what are the hours? What are hours?
Both days are going to be Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 6.
Okay.
So super short. By the time you're about to hit that burnout phase, you're like, it's 5:30. I'm good.
Yep.
I'll make another 30 minutes. I got this.
Power right through this. Listen,
you can power through it.
I can't wait, Harry. I can't wait to see you there. I can't wait to see Jan and the people on the stairs. I can't wait to see all the indie authors as well, and the vendors. So you're gonna have some episodes coming up. I'm telling you, like you're gonna get a shopping list. I can't wait.
And you're just gonna be following up with everybody because you got to get in there with Things Forsaken. If you find me at the event, I'm gonna take you to these people. But there are some extra interesting people that. I mean, Things Forsaken does little. They're on YouTube. You can watch all their little clips. They create props, but they create an entire like Are You Afraid of the Dark-esque miniseries to demonstrate making the prop that has a story behind it. One of their ones that they did last year was it was a prisoner who was making like death watches out of like bone or soap or whatever it was, and he eventually gets the chair. The electric chair and that whole set is brought to Fright Reads.
Nice.
And guess what? It's free to sit in. So Facebook profile picture for life. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, well, I'm going to be there. And listen, so Horror's going to be there. And everybody else is going to be there. Listen, so get your asses over there.
Do it.
That's on September 28th, September 29th. Harry, it's been a blast, man. I'm going to see you on the 28th.
See you in 2 weeks and a couple of days.
2 weeks, man. I'll be 42 years old, man. I'll be 42 years old, man. I'm getting old, man. Ooh. Jeez.
Ooh. Who let that happen?
I know, man. At least I'm
really looked back and said, I want to be a grown-up. And then that just didn't stop. And then you're like, I wanted to be a grown-up like the 20-year ago grown-up, not this. This
man. I'm tired. I'm tired all the time, man. I'm just taking. I'm like, oh, I need a nap. I don't like.
I blow my back out from sleeping. That spry 23-year-old. Where was he? Let me get that guy back.
People keep saying like 40s is a new 30s. Nah, 40 is the same old raggedy 40.
I feel like we're doing better at 40 than people at 40. Like maybe 50 years ago. I feel like we're doing better off.
True.
Watch some old movies and look at, like, I always reference Ghostbusters. Those guys were 33 to 36 years old. And I'm looking at them like, how am I older than y'all?
Exactly.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Also, too, but I think, yes, physically we are. But I think mentally, as 40, I think we're not as mature as 40-year-olds 50 years ago. I mean, I'd be seeing shit on social media that 50-year-olds be writing like, huh? Like, this is something a 5-year. I mean, this is something a 10-year-old would be saying, like, or arguing about. Like, what is going on here? So, I mean, I think we lost that part. Anyway, listen, get your asses over to Fright Reads Book Festival, Millersville, not Columbia, Maryland.
Yeah.
September 28th.
And celebrate a birthday with this guy.
Yes. Are there going to be drinks there or no?
Officially, no. But I know that we have had some authors in the past. If not, there is nearby drinks. Okay. There's a couple of bar restaurants that are just right there on Veterans Highway. You can just go around the corner, pop in, grab a couple of beers, and decompress. Or, make sure you get a hot dog from Catalyst Hot Dogs at least too on your way out.
Yes.
But we don't have anything official. That's one of the things. I actually tried to get that worked into previous contracts with other venues. And they were like, well, I don't know. Will there be a lot of drinkers? And I was like, have you met authors?
That's like the new thing I've seen at book festival, horror book festival, and horror convention that I haven't seen in past years. Now they got like the little traveling bar. It's on a cart and just pushing around the damn venue, selling drinks. And the bartender is making drinks right there, and it keeps pushing their wagon all the way around.
Right, like gin and tonics and Captain and Cokes right there.
Yes.
And your credit card's out.
I'm like, what is going on? I mean, they know that horror fans are alcoholics.
It's not just horror fans; it's the authors. I'm putting me in that category. I have an entire bar in that room. It's how we get through. I mean, Stephen King's best work was booze and coke, quite literally. Some of his best work was written when he wasn't here with us. It's how we get through. It's how we get through all of our reviews.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Booze and coke, man. Booze and coke.
But yeah, you'll have a blast. I got to get you on stage with the improv guys for your birthday. You're gonna.
I 100% will, man. I'll do it, man. I don't get embarrassed easily, so.
I'll make sure Ron dials it up. We'll find your limit. Yeah, it'll be a blast.
I said it. But it's gonna be a blast, man.
All that stuff inside the venue is free to do, and I love that aspect about the event. And that's one thing that I will never change. There will never be paid for panels. There will never be paid for special inclusion things. The only thing we had was last year. We had a concert that was separate from our event, and you got to see First Jason for $10, and it was an exclusive, very intimate performance just by his band.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like anything that's going on during the event, it's fair game.
Love it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. See you in 2 weeks, man.
Everyone, thank you for coming to the Horror Realm. I'm Travis Bruce, and that's Harry Carpenter with Fright Reads. We'll see you next time. And we'll see you on the 28th and 29th. Take care.